Set for week number two, the Crestwood Cadets will host the Independence Mustangs this week. Head coach Justin Denner joining us, and it's brought to you by Wilson Custom Tree Service. And in our review of week number one, a 9-7 loss to MFL Marmac, coach, what were your takeaways from Friday night?
The game Friday night was everything we thought it was going to be. It was a physical contest, an outstanding football game by both teams. Unfortunately, we just didn't have enough at the end. So all credit to Coach Anderson and MFL. They did everything that they needed to do, to win the game, and we were right there. And as I was talking to my guys, tonight and so forth at practice, sometimes you do a lot of good things, and just the way football works is one team's going to come out on top, and sometimes it's not you. And we just have to continue controlling what we can control and getting better, and try to be now a consistent team. We had I felt a really good performance. So now it's, can we put two good performances in a row?
And what were the main good things that you're going to be looking to build off this week in practice?
Yeah, I thought our rushing attack was very solid. Brock Voina and Aiden Skoda had great games, behind our offensive line, and we did a lot of good things there. Rushed for, I think, 250 plus yards or something like that. And so that was great. I thought our defense, did a really good job of making stands and making plays when we needed to. Um, you know, Getting a stop here, getting a stop there, to get ourselves the ball back, and so forth there. So overall, I thought we played good on both sides of the ball. But obviously there's things to fix and get better at. But it was a good step forward for us.
What are the things that is going to take the good performances and turn them into great performances?
Yeah, the main thing for us was penalties. I think we counted, 10 to 15 plays, whether it was, a penalty or, official stoppage for, something with equipment or whatever. But 10 to 15 plays that just really, really messed up with our rhythm, especially on the offensive side. I think we had a 2nd and 2 on a critical drive, and ended up turning into a 2nd and 12 because of a block in the back, down the field. And it's hard to move the ball anyway. But it's even harder when you've got to, take 2 steps forward and then, 3 steps back because of a silly mistake there. So, for one, for sure is a point of emphasis for us this week. And then, next of all would be, winning the early downs, especially on the defensive side. When MFL was rolling well and doing some really good things offensively, it's because they were winning first down and winning second down, and gave themselves either an easy 3rd down conversion or just converted it completely. So, doing really well on those early downs for us to make the 3rd downs harder, it will be a point of emphasis for us as well on the defensive side.
When you go about assessing the penalties on films, there are certain situations where kids are just trying to make plays, and sometimes the technique just needs to improve. There are the other situations where it's the mental mistakes, which most coaches will say they're a little bit more unacceptable. How'd you balance that out when you assessed Friday night's performance?
Yeah, a lot of it was, it was about 50-50 for us. And we talked, as a staff, we were talking and trying to figure out, okay, why did this happen? Because some of them were kind of very uncharacteristic for us. In terms of, some pre-snap penalties in terms of, this and that. Okay, so what's the root cause? And some of it was, the cadence change. Coming and putting the lights on, as we talked last week, things, sometimes go a little bit differently when the lights turn on. So some of it was just a cadence change, and offensive linemen kind of getting a little flinchy there, which it just happens, right? And we just try to coach that up and coach our quarterbacks to try to keep everything the same as best we can. And yeah, a lot of the other half of the penalties were our guys were just trying to make plays. And some of it's just being a little bit smarter with how we attack things. With some of those blocks in the back, is our guys are doing a great job. They're trying to get themselves in good positions, and it's either like a late spin or the guy just makes a last minute adjustment or last second adjustment, and us being a little bit too quick with our hands, and stuff like that. And so I was not angry at any of it. It's just one of those deals that when you look back, when you're trying to beat a really good program like MFL, you can't have a bunch of those, and we did, and we just got to then continue getting better.
And this week, you got a pretty good football team coming to town once again in the Independence Mustangs. What'd you see with them on film?
Yeah, they're a great program too. Great team. They played North Fayette Valley, and kind of it was a close to half, and then kind of took it to them a little bit in the second half there. They've got some great athletes. They have a couple individuals back from last year that did a lot of things for them. In the stat book. With their linebacker over 100 tackles last year. They got a wide receiver that's committed to South Dakota State, I think. That does a lot of great things, and so they're a great program. They go things about a little bit differently than MFL did. They can throw the ball pretty well and do some RPO stuff that is a little bit different than what MFL did. But they still, they want to try and run the ball. They still want to be physical at the point of attack. So that's all the same. And, defensively, they want to make sure that their guys can make plays. And so they try to do some things there. And so it'll be a great test for us. It'll be an awesome opportunity again for our guys to play against, now a team that's a, class higher than us, but, doing the same things and trying to do the same things that we're doing and making a late playoff run. So, we're really excited for the opportunity.
All right, Coach, hopefully you can get win number one of the season coming up this Friday night. Keep your guys healthy. We wish best of luck.
Thanks. Go Cadets.
Justin Denner, head coach of the Crestwood Cadets. It's the Cadets and the Mustangs Friday night in Cresco. This conversation has been brought to you by Wilson Custom Tree Service.